Tension in the APC over endorsement of President Bola Tinubu and the exclusion of Vice President Kashim Shettima in the Gombe summit. That is escalating so badly, it's causing rift between the president and the vice president. What are the implications within the internal workings of the ruling party? And INEC has written to the People's Democratic Party over the planned 100th NEC meeting. We'll be giving you details of what is in that letter. Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Wakimale here in Abuja. So much to talk about tonight. But I won't be the one doing all the talking. My guests will be doing that. But before we get into all of what is happening, let me first and foremost let you know what is happening in different parts of the country in your political roundup stories. Let's tell you that the Independent National Electoral Commission has raised concerns over the notice submitted by the People's Democratic Party regarding its planned 100th National Executive Committee meeting, which is scheduled for the 30th of June 2025. The development was conveyed in a letter dated 13 June and addressed to the party's chairman with reference to the titled Re-Notice of a 100th National Executive Committee meeting of the PDP. The letter was obtained by our correspondent and which we have verified from INEC, and the commission is stating in that letter submitted to notify the compliance of the party to its regulation. So they says that this is not in compliance with the laid-on rules. All right, let's now watch your political roundup stories.
President Bola Tinubu has described the new national headquarters annex of the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC in Abuja as a bold reaffirmation of Nigeria's commitment to democracy and electoral integrity. Speaking at a groundbreaking ceremony in the Federal Capital Territory on Tuesday, President Tinubu described the project as a symbolic and strategic investment in the nation's democratic future.
It is only right that such a pivotal institution is housed in a structure that reflects the dignity, responsibility, and national significance of that institution.
Vice President Kashim Shettima says the administration of President Bola Tinubu is exploring private-public partnerships to close the nation's $2.3 trillion infrastructure gap. He made this disclosure at the opening of the 2025 Nigeria Private-Public Partnership Summit, the State House Conference Center in Abuja.
Your Excellencies, distinguished gentlemen, these goals require collective action, and that is the focus of the present administration. To our private sector partners, we ask not just for capital, but for commitment.
The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, is advocating the training of credible youth across Benue State to work under the supervision of the military to defend local communities against attacks. The CDS made the call at a meeting with traditional rulers in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, where he urged them to put a check on any criminal elements within their domain. He warns that he will not tolerate any act of sabotage while working to ensure the protection of Benue communities.
Communities like this, we have civilian JTF. The communities were the ones that were able to identify youths that were capable, and we know of their character.
Meanwhile, Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State has visited Governor Hyacinth Alia to commiserate with the people of Benue State over the Yelwata attacks. Governor Sule is received by the State Deputy Governor at the Government House in Makurdi, the state capital, where he donated 150 million naira to support Benue IDPs.
This time around, we will use whatever it takes and fish out the main causes of these problems and resolve them once and for all. On the part of Nasarawa State, we also want to come in with a little support so that, because this is a very difficult period, I think, for the state.
A group under the aegis of the Isoko Political Youth Leaders of Thought have called for the immediate cancellation of the ongoing ward delineation exercise in Warri Federal Constituency, warning that it is a calculated attempt to favor one ethnic group and disrupt the political structure of Delta South Senatorial District ahead of the 2031 governorship election. Speaking at a press conference in Asaba, the chairman of the group, Comrade Daniel Omoraro, says the exercise, if not halted, could destroy the existing political balance and reignite ethnic tensions among the district's major groups. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has recommended strict penalties for 11 computer-based test centers and their registrants involved in fingerprint irregularities during registration for the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Exam, UTME. Speaking in Abuja at a meeting with owners and operators of computer-based test centers, the Registrar and Chief Executive of JAMB, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, says the recommendation has become imperative in order to serve as a deterrent to CBT center owners and registrants who may want to engage in such fraudulent acts.
Those who are owned by government, public institutions, they will be told officially that this is what they have done. Number two, they will give a bond, and that apology and bond. Apology and bond. That is, if they do such a thing again, that center will be delisted.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us on the program. So let's tell you, part of the concerns within the APC was what happened at the Northeast Stakeholders Meeting of the APC, which happened over the weekend at a meeting in Gombe State, where the endorsement of President Bola Tinubu became an issue. And it was said that the Vice President Kashim Shettima was omitted in the re-election endorsement for 2027. However, the endorsement was not unanimous, as some of the APC national chairmen or some of the leaders felt that the omission from the statement of Mr. Mustafa Saliu, the chairman northeast of the APC, refused to endorse Shettima alongside the president. The development has now led to what has become a major issue, part of what erupted in this commotion you're seeing on your screen during the meeting in Gombe State.
We want to reaffirm and also adopt the endorsement earlier done by the National Working Committee on behalf of the National Executive Committee and the convention that Asuaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu is endorsed to be a sole candidate for 2027 election. Thank you.
We have a progressive leader. We have a progressive President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the leader of our party, the leader of democracy in Nigeria, Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And also, we are proud of his deputy. We are proud of his vice president. It is one ticket according to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
All right, that was how it all went down. But don't look at alone in one piece that event, because that has escalated so badly and is gone into the fibers of the party. Tonight, let's speak with one person who knows and what the implication of this endorsement is for the APC. I'm being joined tonight by a member of the APC Board of Trustees, Mr. Ismail Ahmed. Thank you so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much.
Endorsement.
I'm a member of I'm a former member of the Board of Trustees.
So there isn't no Board of Trustees in the APC at the moment?
Right now, we have not inaugurated one, yes.
But there was one that was going to be inaugurated under the Buhari government.
Yes, but this one, I think the name has been changed in the Constitution. It's now the, I think, the National Elders Committee. I've forgotten the nomenclature. But yeah, it's about to be, it has not been inaugurated yet.
And what happened? I know that you were in the forefront of campaigning and for the party, even from inception, from 2014 all the way.
Yes.
And you were a very strong advocate of the Bola Tinubu. All the major symposium in Lagos, you were. Yes, either you are organizing, you are moderating, you are. And one would think that you are the northern son of Bola Tinubu.
I am.
And but you're nowhere to be found as far as the Bola Tinubu politics is concerned at the moment.
No.
What went wrong? Did you offend him?
I don't think that's a correct statement, that I'm nowhere to be found in the politics. No,
okay, maybe we have not found you in any appointive
Okay, maybe
position.
that's what you're talking about. So there's a difference between being in politics and being in government. I'm strongly in politics. I'm strongly in the progressive movement. And I'm strongly in support of the president.
So why have you not been seen to be to want to serve or being called to serve in government?
No, that's not the case. I think there are certain things that everybody focuses on at a particular point in time. So, it's a work in progress. Let's see how it goes.
Have you been forgotten?
No, I don't think so. I've met the president a few times while he's president, so no.
So you're not far from power?
No, I'm not far from government.
Or maybe because you people could not win your state.
Can we just focus on what we
Is it that you people could not win your state for the APC?
Well, a lot of people
lost to the NNPP.
Well, I think if you look at the general, the election, vis-a-vis who our national opposition challengers were, which was the PDP at that time, I think we won the election in Kano. You could say that. Yes, we didn't win the tally of the number, but because NNPP was not in the running in the national election, it was just primarily in Kano. So it was, you just have to take the numbers of APC versus PDP in Kano. And our votes, 570-something thousand votes, was the difference that cleared all the election margin losses we had in the whole of the 5 states of the Northeast, starting from Taraba all the way to Yobe, with the exception of Borno. So Kano, more or less, delivered the president.
So, and if the president is going to get a re-election, Kano will still be significant.
Let me tell you something about Kano. I don't like talking about it because people say I'm from Kano. I like talking about it. Kano, if there's 200 million people in Nigeria, Kano has a population of 20 million people. That is 10% of the entire population of the country. That is not a place you joke with. It doesn't matter whether it's politics or not.
So it's Lagos.
It's a big deal. So it's Lagos, absolutely. So, it's a big deal.
But I'm hearing reconciliation within the APC in Kano.
Oh yeah, well, it's a political family. In the political family, there will always be issues here and there. There are people that have come into the party. There are people that have left the party during the 2023 elections, and they have their supporters all the way down to the ward level. And these are some of the things that the state party thought, the state chapter of the party thought that it was necessary before electioneering campaign is upon us, that we should be able to see how we'll be able to reconcile some of these differences at the local level.
What is going on in your party? Endorsement seems to be tearing it apart.
Okay, so I don't know if that is true, that it is tearing us apart. I don't think it is tearing us apart, but let me tell you what worries me and so many other members of this party. We have a culture in APC, and this culture is that a sitting president is not challenged. It's a given. It's automatic that he's going to have his second term ticket if he wants, unless he has the right of first refusal. That is without a doubt. President Buhari was our first president. I cannot remember in 2017, halfway through his first term, of anyone going to any place to say that he has endorsed. It is a given. That is even President Buhari that was not feeling I think that went to hospital like 2 times. You know, if you could remember during that time. He didn't, you know, we didn't have to worry.
No contest.
There was no contest. And now we are talking about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is not just, he's not just a president that just joined the party halfway and used whatever it is. No, no, no. He is a co-founder of the party. He is the live wire of the party starting from 2013. He was the first person I met with that told me that the party was going to be named APC in February of 2013 when I was trying to create the youth wing. He told me that the name of the party is going to start with an A and the name is going to be APC, and he was the one that advised me to go and name it APYF, and we named it All Progressives Youth Forum in February 2013, way before the party was registered in June of the same year. So this is not just any president. This is a co-founder of the party. So automatically he is going to have the right of first refusal without a doubt. So now what worries a lot of us is that we are halfway through our term, right? And we have introduced policy prescriptions that we need to be able to communicate effectively to people so that it become easily swallowable pills for the general public, you know. And why are we endorsing a president that doesn't need it? President Ashwaju doesn't need endorsement of his own political party. It is a given that he's going to be our candidate in 2027. So all these are, he's the sole candidate, is orchestrated psychophancy. We shouldn't do that. We should focus on every lover of this president, every supporter of this president, every member of this party should go granular to the grassroots and be able to communicate effectively and sell the policies of the president when right now we're 2 years into office. We have a year to go before primaries, 2 years before general election. Nobody is going to contest against the president, at least nobody of substance. No one is going to contest with him in APC. So all this is needless. So when we saw that, we said like, okay. And even if we needed to shore up our base and re-emphasize it, we have already done that at the national summit that took place in Abuja. That's all. I understand the fact that zonal leadership of parties have to come together and be able to endorse the policies of the president. That I support. Endorse the policies of the president. If you want to show us that you support this president, let us see it in your results in your state if you are a governor. Let us see it in your results in your states if you are a federal lawmaker or a state lawmaker. But don't come into a room and then fill it up with party members in an echo chamber and say you endorse the president. Who is going to run against him? Who is going to run against Ashwaju?
So it was unnecessary.
I thought it was a bit melodramatic.
Because this is orchestrated by the party leadership. If you saw what happened at the APC summit that was organized by the leadership of the party, endorsement.
The APC summit itself was supposed to be a scorecard summit of our 2 years in office. And looking back, if you are going to look back all the way from 2015, of our 10 years in office, to be quite honest, right? Now, okay, it's supposed to be our scorecard. We're supposed to lay it down, then have people that we have given appointments as other technocrats or heads of agencies or ministers to come before party members and explain to us, you know, what they are doing in front of the president so that we can ask questions. It was supposed to be a 3-day event. You can have the opening ceremony of all the razzmatazz and the usual brouhaha that comes with politics. That's okay. That's fine. The endorsements can come on the last day. That's okay. You can endorse the president. Of course, the president is automatically endorsed, but if you need to say it, re-emphasize it. But in between are supposed to be technical sessions where we're going to ask people we have given responsibilities, questions about how they have handled our responsibilities in the last 2 years, so that the president will know from them where we members of the party are comfortable, so that we can go back to our constituencies and be able to explain policy prescriptions to people. That's what's supposed to happen at the APC summit. Now, no, I think that did happen. I think a couple of few people stood up and spoke. But it was overwhelmed
by the endorsement. The only thing anybody would remember on the day is the endorsement.
And I think that's unfortunate. I think that's not supposed to be the news that should come out of that place, because the news that should come out of that place is that APC have done well by doing A, B, C, D, E, F. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done incredibly well. We need to finish our term. We are in the middle of our first year term of our government. Then we should be able to focus on that. I am begging party members, let's focus on the governance. The president is doing well, communicate that effectively to the people. The president needs friends outside APC, not within.
Because if you look at it, and there are about four groups of people who endorse the president. You had the National Assembly caucus led by the Senate president. You had the APC Governors Forum. You had the party, and you have people in government and the executive level who endorse the president. And all of these came, and a lot of people were wondering, because what came to the mind of a lot of watchers is that there could only be one reason, because there is never a smoke without a fire. That there's only one thing that is happening within the APC, and that's panic, that the party is not in a good standing politically in the country, and that's why the endorsements are coming. Or is it just a statement of misplaced priority?
No. So you see, that's the problem I have. That's why I said, why are we doing all this? Who is chasing us? Why are we running? Why are we running? Why are we responding to an opposition that are not even yet an opposition yet?
But your party is in a panic mode.
No. What I'm saying is that I can understand.
I'm telling you.
No. I'm a member of the party. You can't tell me how we are feeling.
You don't see how we see your party from the outside. So, okay, you know what? So, let me tell you.
No, hold on. Let me answer. Let me answer this.
Okay.
I understand this perception. And I've said it. And people have told me in private conversations that, like, okay, hold a minute. What is going on in your party? Why are you in a rush to endorse a president that does not need to be endorsed? Because he is automatically endorsed by the party. Like I said, we have a culture in this party. A sitting president is not challenged. At least not anybody of substance will challenge this president. You know, it's a given. So I understand how people are feeling, or how you can see it from outside, that maybe there is something that, you know, certain that they are not telling us. Is somebody trying to say, is one of the governors or is anyone within the party trying to challenge the president, that we need to say that he is the sole candidate? And what does a sole candidate means? Does it mean tomorrow if somebody says he wants to pick up 100 million naira form to run against the president in 2027, he will not be allowed to do that?
Constitutionally guaranteed.
He's allowed to do that, even though it's an exercise in futility. And let me tell you what I don't get is that I know the president, at least I know the president well enough to know that competition he encourages competition. He does not run away from it. He's not scared of it at all. So I understand that the party needs to rile up the base and, you know, and get us all moving in one direction. You know, I understand that. And there will be time for that. But right now, it is not time for campaign. We cannot, as government, be responding to opposition. You know, I think we should just take it easy, focus on governance, and drill down what the president is doing to the last person in the wards and every polling unit. And then guess what? So if the governors want to impress us as party members, if the National Assembly members want to impress us, if all these people who find it easy now to come and say, we have endorsed the president while he's already president, they didn't do that before he became president. Do you understand? When he was running for it, most of them didn't do that. But if they want to impress us, fine, we're all in the same party now. Deliver in your constituency. Get us vote by performance.
Although it's contestable when you say the president is performing, because you might have an understanding of the intentions of the president, but those intentions need to be communicated by a way of practical impact in the lives and the livelihood of the average Nigerian. And we will get there. But let me give you a scenario, Mr. Ahmed. If I see you sweating and I'm in the other flat opposite you, and I see you sweating in your compound, jogging, and you're looking as though someone is chasing you, and you are sweating, and you are running helter-skelter, and you are panicky, and I see you from where I'm standing, by way of perception, I think that this man is in trouble. But later on, when you tell me, oh, that's my usual evening exercise, I was in trouble. I was just jogging, and I was sweating out of the jog. But the perception is that I saw you from the other opposite flat, and I saw that you were sweating and you are panicking. And that's what I saw. Because a lot of what Nigerians are saying is that they think that this government has failed in the last 2 years. Your party is incompetent to govern Nigeria based on the promises that you have given to Nigeria since 2015. And from 2023, you said that you are going to renew their hope because perhaps you think that the hopes of Nigerians have been dashed since you guys got into power. Now, whatever is going on right now looks exactly like a perception of a party that is panicking, and the coalition is about to consume your party.
Okay, so I don't want to get into the issue of the coalition or not, right?
Is your party not scared of the coalition?
No, we are not scared.
You have lost El-Rufai. You lost Rotimi Amechi. Atiku Abubakar is up against you. Peter Obi seems to, if he agrees to Atiku teams up, you know what it means if Peter Obi and Atiku team up? He's going to drown you figure-wise.
Okay.
That's the mathematics of the politics.
Okay, so let's not get into that, right? I completely disagree with your analogy. I'm one of the people, and you know this about me. I'm not a person who dismisses opposition easily. I don't, right? And I'm not arrogant, and I'm not foolishly arrogant to say that, oh, nobody matters, we are in government. We took someone out when he was in government, right, in 2015. So I know that the possibility of defeating an incumbent is clear and present in Nigeria. And I think that's the maturity of our democracy. That's what we wanted to see. But we are not scared of any opposition as we speak. Do we have work to do? Yes, absolutely. Do we need to convince a lot of Nigerians out there that our policy prescriptions that have been rolled out by this administration, some are short-term, some are medium-term, some are long-term, it will take some time. When you are trying to pull the country out of the precipice of disaster, you need to be able to take tough decisions, and these tough decisions will reflect in the bottom line of people? Yes. Is it easy for people to understand that? Not necessarily true. They may not easily understand it. Those are issues that we have to deal with. These are issues of governance, and that is what I want us as a party, rank and file, the leadership, the Sentry and the Sentinel, everyone should focus on, because we have a mandate and we still have 2 years on this mandate of ours to run. We should focus on it and drill down on it. The best way to get the next job is to do the current job very well. If the president is doing his job, we need to be able to go to town and say, this is what the president is doing. Where we need to speak to people, and tell them that this is going to take a bit of a while, then we need to do that. At the Democracy Day lecture, I spoke and I told the audience there, and the vice president was seated there, and I'm sure the president watched it maybe. And I said, look, the people who are the custodians of the people's mandate is the president and the vice president. They are the ones that need to go out and to be able to speak to people more than anybody else. If the president speaks, he's more believable, he's more credible because he's the president, much more than any surrogate we're going to get anywhere that will speak on our behalf. So he needs to go out and see the people. He needs to visit states. I'm glad I heard he was going to Kaduna now. He has moved it to Benue. Very good, because of what is happening in Benue. So that he needs to move around, and the vice president needs to move around to states and talk to people. So for every issue, they need to be able to communicate, hold town hall meetings, meet with stakeholders in the state or whatever, visit obas, emirs, imams, pastors, whatever. You need to continue talking to people. Just like we ran for a campaign when we wanted them to elect us, we need to be able to go around town and explain to them some of our policies because it affects their bottom line.
You don't think that Nigerians will stone your leaders if they go to town?
No. I think Nigerians would give us the benefit of doubt and listen to us.
You don't think that there's a lot of disappointment in the Nigerian people? That instead of the renewed hope, there's a dashed hope.
No, it's not a dashed hope yet.
I'm asking you.
It's not a dashed hope.
Tell Nigerians what your party have done tonight for Nigerians in the last 2 years. For you not to demand being stoned.
We have saved this country from bankruptcy. Basically.
Even with more debt.
What was that?
The last 2 years?
No, hold on. There's a difference between...
Hold on. More debt burden than we bargained for.
Everyone, be it a business, an individual, a corporate organization, or a country, and most especially a country, has to run on a debt. Now, debt can be a sustainable debt, can be a debt where you borrow to invest in your infrastructure, borrow to invest in your enabling structures to be able to bring in more businesses so that people will get jobs. That's one thing. It's another thing for you to borrow to spend and pay salaries and eat it and have it fizzled away by corruption and a cesspit of nonsense that can go on. But right now, what we are borrowing is we are borrowing to invest in our infrastructure. And that started for Buhari. And you know that very well. We finished a lot of infrastructures that looked intractable, that it wasn't going to be finished. And look at what we are doing everywhere right now as we speak, right now under this administration. So, to me, I don't think we are doing too badly, but I understand the perception. Let me make it very clear that I understand that the bottom line of people, a lot of people are not happy, and I understand the perception. That's why I said we need to do more than just sit in rooms and do endorsements that is absolutely unnecessary and is not required.
In 3 months, Nigeria rose to about 12.6 trillion naira.
You know, I don't know economics, so don't keep confusing me with numbers.
No. We have to put the numbers so that you can be able to understand the disappointment that comes with it. For a government the government that is looking to borrow at every market that is open, this government wants to borrow from it. Every bond that it can be issued, this government wants to participate. Every possible, if any sukuk come tomorrow, this government will subscribe to it. This government has gone to town in the United States. We have gone to the street to open bonds, fully subscribed. The government even came to say we are proud that that means that we are attractive. Is that what exactly it means? This government is attracting more burden in debt every day.
But do you know that there are countries that go...
Just a moment.
Do you know that there are countries that go to look for loans and they're not giving?
You measure your production to your debt capacity. Someone who earns 12,000 naira and is hoping to borrow 12 million naira is a person not looking for more trouble. Do we have what it takes to borrow? And the fear is that this government is going to send Nigeria into more debt and we're going to be in greater trouble than he met it. That is the kind of disappointment that some Nigerians are feeling right now.
First of all, let me say this and let me say it very clearly, right? I know you get a lot of excitement when you put these questions to people who are party members.
Not excitement, it's appointment, actually.
No. You get excited when you ask us these questions.
This doesn't give anybody excitement.
Let me say this.
It actually worries us.
Once you go, and I'm not an economist, I don't want to be dragged into an economic theory that I probably wouldn't be able to explain very well.
The president is an accountant, and I know that the president is very vast with the figures.
So when you
we need to know whether or not we are in the right track.
When you get to sit with the president, you probably ask him these questions, and I'm sure he's going to answer
as the northern son of the president, your father did not tell you why he's going to borrow us to stupor.
But no, it's not borrowing to stupor. Why do you use these words?
Ismail, we're borrowing a lot.
Now, are you going to allow me to answer this question?
No, I'm asking you, Ismail, please go ahead.
You keep asking me questions without allowing me to answer.
And I'm giving you the opportunity too.
So now you just keep quiet and I'll answer.
Go ahead, please.
If you go to town to borrow and you have people who are lending to you, which means you have credibility to borrow. The Americans are well in debt, right? The Americans are well in debt. The British are well in debt. Even the Chinese are borrowing. Everyone is borrowing against his reputation and his credibility to borrow. If this country is going to every market that is opened to borrow money to invest in its future, and we are getting those monies, then which means we are credible enough, we are credit-worthy. And credit-worthy anywhere in the world, be it an individual, corporate organization, or a country, is a good thing. But, like I said, I'm sure we have a lot of economists in this government that will be able to explain to you exactly what is happening. All I know is that the president took certain decisions in the beginning of his administration. These decisions, of course, affect the bottom line of the people. I can understand why people would say they are disappointed one way or another. But what I know for a fact is that those decisions had to be taken. They were taken. And now we are at least solvent. Even if we are going to borrow, we are credit worthy. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't have been even creditworthy. Nobody would have borrowed the most money, and we would have gone down with like countries like Venezuela or Argentina did.
Yeah, and look, my area of interest on this job is political economics.
Okay.
And it will interest you that there are a few things that are looking positive. I mean, in terms of policy direction, there are a lot of people who think that there is audacity and a boldness for the government of the day to make those decisions. The credit call, I think, is a fantastic idea. The student loan, no matter what kind of criticism comes with it, I think it's a fantastic idea.
Keep naming them.
I think, just a moment. So the issue that some people will have about the manner in which things are being done, if it's not properly communicated to the Nigerian people, are the intentions in the initial stage, without the result in the heads of Nigerians, will bring panic. And a lot of Nigerians want explanation that we've given a lot of presidents and a lot of government the opportunity to impress and let our lives be better. This government needs to communicate to Nigerians that their lives will be better, not shutting down critics and opposition.
I totally
because opposition
agree.
is very
totally
good.
agree.
But there is going to be a coalition, and the coalition says they are planning well to crumble your party, that after 2027, they will make President Bola Tinubu retire in Lagos and send your party packing. And that's going to be next of our conversation with Ismail Ahmed. Join us again, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us on the program. Let's get back to the conversation. On the state of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Ismail Ahmed is a chieftain of the party and he's been speaking with us on the program. Thanks so much, Mr. Ahmed, for your time tonight. Give us an understanding of how your party perceive what is going on in terms of that Gombe summit that went awry. You saw the cheers and you saw how the Borno governor was trying to calm the frayed nerves, and how a lot of people seems to be very agitated. What kind of error do you think happened there?
Okay, so I don't want to get into the speculation business, right? Because I wasn't there. I'm not from the Northeast.
The video is there.
No. What do you see on the video? You know very well that's not the story. You know that's not the story, right? So of course there would be different kind of headlines. I spoke to a lot of people who were there, and some people in the leadership of the party as well at the zonal level, to find out what happened. I think generally, the issue is, like I said, it is very good that we have zonal meetings of the party. There are so many issues that the general public need to understand where the party is going clearly, and we need to be able to calm people down. And I think that should be our focus. Our focus is about endorsement of the policies of the administration and how to make them turn around, because we have a year to turn things around really fast for people to be able to know that the bottom line is affected in a positive way before they go to the polls in 2027. I think that is the most important thing, much more than anything else. So, but I think, I don't think they set out, I don't think the leadership, I don't think the people that went out there set out to do anything that would cause such a fracas. I think they just did it because they just thought that, this is what we have done in the Northwest, this is what we have done at the summit, this is what we also would do. But I think knowledge and experience of politics should have come in, and they should have spoken about the son of the soil, which was the vice president, who is also a key contributor to not only the campaign of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu during the primaries, but also the government so far. I don't know. I don't want to get into the speculation business. I don't know whose error, but bottom line, as far as I'm concerned, there shouldn't be any endorsements again.
I hear a lot of criticism on the NWC where you serve under Mayor Malabuni. There are those who say that was the worst NWC of the APC.
That's not true.
Well, it's debatable.
It's not debatable. That is absolutely not true.
Because, and that NWC endorsed President Buhari. And you are one of those who did.
No, we endorsed Buhari. I don't understand we endorsed him.
In 2019, the NWC did endorsement.
No, during election time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So absolutely, not 2 years before.
The reason why I'm raising this is that under the NWC, the leadership of the party is at that meeting.
Yes. Yeah.
And is that political insensitivity? How do you go to the Northeast? Look, I had the vice chairman Northeast on the program yesterday, and he explained the reason. That look, it's the owner of the ticket is the president, and the vice president is usually not visible. It's at the discretion of the man, the face of the party, and the owner of the ticket. But I don't know how politically sensitive that is on the turf. And he said he spoke very well about the vice president. And this is coming when there are stories of some rifts and feud between the president and the vice president, whether that is true or not.
No, I'm telling you it's not true.
How much do you know about that?
Very well.
That both men are they are 100% in terms of relationship.
Who is ever 100% in a relationship? Are you 100% in a relationship with anyone?
I may be.
No, I don't think so.
I don't have any issue with you. Do I have an issue? Do you have an issue with me? If you have an issue with me, let me know right now. But as I know, there are people I know I have 100% relationship with, and the trust is there because this always happens.
So there's
from the days of Olusegun Obasanjo,
there is trust between President and Vice President and Vice President Shettima.
But why do you think the tension was so much? And there are those who say it's not.
You want to drag me into the speculation business. I don't want to get into speculation.
I don't even speculate here. You know me. On this program, we don't do rumors and speculation. We deal with the fact because we speak to those who are in the know, and that's why you're here tonight. Right. And the fact remains that how sensitive, and that's the question I'm asking you. Why would you go to the Northeast and not pitch Shettima with Bola Tinubu?
But I saw you played a video where the chairman of the party was saying good things about the vice president.
Yeah, saying good things. Good things might be said of you, but it might not be considered.
No. So you see, this is why I knew that this was going to be an issue. We're trying to create an issue where there is none. None exists. Let us remember what happened in 2023. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu basically unilaterally picked Vice President Shettima as his running mate. I can tell you for a fact, there were a lot of governors that were taken by surprise when that happened. He basically unilaterally picked Vice President Shettima as his running mate. And everybody fell in line. And we went to campaign. And God willing, we won. Now, if you ask me, we already have a president and a vice president, a settled issue. Don't try to fix something that is not broken. What's wrong with it? You know, their chemistry is good. They are governing together. Now, the moment you start creating a melodrama around an endorsement of a president, a sitting president that automatically has that ticket as his beck and call, as far as this party is concerned, I keep repeating that. We have a culture in this party. In case some people who just joined this party recently don't know, we have a culture. A sitting president gets a right of first refusal. And if that is the case, because that is the case, we didn't need to start jumping up and down trying to say this. We should have just focused on governance, the policies of the government, promoting the president outside the party, which is more important to us right now. You know, because all those people that did not vote for us in 2023, we want them to vote for us in 2027. We want to have an election, a winning margin that is clear and undisputed. you know, with a wider margin than we had in the last election.
Ismail,
so we need to do that. Yeah. We need to do it outside the party. So all this to me was absolutely unnecessary.
And I speak with a lot of people within your party. There's a period when the debate over the tax reforms came in, and the fact that the some of the narratives coming from Maiduguri or from Benue or from the northeast is not quite favorable of the presidency. And there was a time when the dam issue and the flooding happened in Benue. There are also issues as regarding the tripartite relationship of the governor, the vice president, and the presidency. In fact, there are those in your party who think that there was a time, some days or weeks, that the access to the president, by the VP's access to the president, was blocked.
No, that's rumor.
Just a moment. I'm saying people in your party, which you may be, since you don't live in the villa, those are the premise upon which, and there are feelers as to the fact that the president might be considering another running mate in 2027. And these are some of, if you hear what they were saying, and in fact, there are those in that meeting saying that no Shettima, no Tinubu in Northeast. That is what they were saying.
Okay, so
you see the import.
The import of what?
Of what I've just described to you, the background I've laid to you.
Okay.
That your party
most of the things
definitely torn apart by this.
No, it's not torn apart.
As much you sit in Kano and you think that your party is okay. Your party was burning in Gombe. One of the executives would have been his head would have been broken with an iron chair there.
Party meetings have a lot of.
So this is what happens every time.
No, not every time. I say party meetings, not only APC, in PDP, everywhere. A lot of parties have issues once in a while.
They want to be different.
We are different, but once in a while you have emotions
against each other.
No, we don't go up.
You get violent like this.
Will you allow me to answer the question?
Example.
Will you allow me to answer the question?
Go ahead, please, sir.
So, like I said, right? Most of the things you said, as far as I'm concerned, they are rumors.
You are not aware?
No, they are rumors. They are absolute rumors. Some of them I'm absolutely aware. There is no discussion about substituting the vice president. There's no discussion about the vice president being blocked. Those are all malicious rumors by people who probably don't understand what's going on in the presidency or don't know how the presidency works and stuff like that. Now, forget about that. I'm not going to discuss rumors of people who said, and one anonymous source said this or that. That's not the issue we're dealing with here. What we're dealing with is we have a mandate of the people for 4 years. This mandate, we have used up 2 years of it. We've got 1 year to primaries. We've got 2 years to general election. And for God's sake, we are a government in office. We are a party in government, which means we are supposed to obey the rules of INEC at the minimum. And let's focus on governing. There are so many things, like you mentioned, that we are doing right. Let's espouse it. Let's talk about it. Let's drill down. The things that are difficult for people to understand, we need to go to town, like you mentioned. We need to communicate to people effectively. That should be the focus of the party and the government as we speak. Anything other than that is a distraction.
People are even leaving your government. Audu is a special advisor to the president. He's since left, and he says that he will work against the possibility of re-election of president.
As it is within his right to do so.
And Amechi and the rest have said that it doesn't support President Bola Tinubu being president.
As it is
El-Rufai has exited your party, and he said
it is within their right to do so.
There are beliefs that this party is leading Nigeria to nowhere.
Because
how do you convince Nigerians that there is going to be light at the end of the tunnel?
By communicating.
What do you tell Nigerians?
By communicating and performing and by seeing results. By all these lawmakers, hold on, by all these lawmakers, by all these lawmakers, to stop parading themselves as if, no. Go and deliver in your constituencies. By all these governors doing meetings and coming on TV to say we have endorsed the president is the best thing that has happened since sliced bread. Yes, we know. That's why we voted him. Go and deliver in your constituencies. Tell the people of your states how much money you have gotten more as a result of the removal of the fuel subsidy. Pay the minimum wage of 70,000 naira without complaints. Do the right things and deliver for people. It's as simple as that. Once we come back for election time, it will be easy for you to point out that what you have done as a result of the policies of the federal government, and then that can help us go through the second round. It's as simple as that.
You know,
we should stop all this.
You know, part of this
drama,
slogans that are being built right now is change. The same slogan that your party used in 2013, 2014.
You are the one using this slogan.
Ismail. I'm telling you, there are a lot of things happen in Abuja every night that you are not aware.
What do you think I live in? I live like in one...
You've been in Kano for several weeks. You have been having conversation. You've been in Kano. And sometimes there's no...
And that's where 6.3 million... That's where 6.2 million votes are.
Yeah, so the question here is that people are planning already. They said they will send the president on retirement.
We expect opposition to plan.
Your party, I mean...
and we are planning as well. You think we're sleeping? No, we are not.
How do you want to plan? Performance
so you want me to tell you... You want me to tell you my plans?
Performance would deliver votes.
Yes.
Or you have other plans other than performance?
No. Performance is largely it, and we know how to we know how to communicate effectively to the people when the right time comes. I'm disappointed with a lot of people who are supposed to be communicating effectively.
Stable power supply.
He's working on it.
It's 2 years now.
He's working on it.
Do you know the figure that will give us the stable power supply as a country?
Tell me.
It's a lot.
Tell me.
We're not even there yet.
We are working on it.
If the president failed to deliver, how do you tell Nigerians to forgive him? That he needs another 4 years to deliver on the failed promise?
Let me tell you what Nigerians appreciate, much more than anything else. They appreciate honesty, transparency, and effort. Right? Once they can see a genuine effort on the part of recovery, right, then they will know that they can give us a chance to finish the job. What they will not want to see is our inability to be able to communicate to them effectively what we are doing.
Yeah.
They would not want to see us not trying at all. You know, they would not want to see us living in opulence and asking them to bear with living in misery. That they will not accept.
We need to close now. Are you familiar with the game Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, I played it when I was a kid.
You know what they say at the final punch? Finish him. That is what the opposition and the coalition says they will do. They will finish off your party.
I like people that talk.
The combination of Peter Obi and Atiku, that's one of your members said, God forbid that happens. If not, the party is gone. Are you worried about that combination?
Our party is not going to go anywhere. Our party is going to keep growing strong. We have seen people that have believe in the party. If you go at the grassroots, people are still coming into the party. They believe in it. Are there people who are disappointed? Yes. Do we have time to turn things around? We do. If we focus on the job at hand. And the job at hand is that we are governing.
All right.
Let's behave as if we are in government.
Ismail Ahmed, Chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, APC, thank you so much. And I wish you and your party all the best.
Do you? Sure. Wish us all the best.
I wish you, because if your party performs and you do well by Nigerians, it's for the good of Nigerians.
Thank you so much.
What I wish
I'm glad to hear that, though.
Is that Nigerians will be better. I don't care who is in power, either from the north or the south, either APC or CPC. So far, you are doing what Nigerians want. That is all what matters. Thank you so much, Ismail.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's our show for tonight, man. Thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kinale. God bless Nigeria.